They don't scream, they don't threaten, they don't even raise their voice. Yet somehow, they get under your skin, rearrange your reality, and twist your sense of self until you don't even recognize the person staring back in the mirror. You're not chained. You're not locked in. But you're stuck, and you can't explain why. Have you ever felt like you were the problem in a relationship, even though your gut told you otherwise? Ever found yourself constantly apologizing, second-guessing your every move, or walking on eggshells even when there's no visible reason? If so, you might have unknowingly stepped into the invisible trap of a narcissist. Today we're going to dive into a chilling psychological web, one that is subtle, seductive, and frighteningly effective. By the end of this video, you'll understand how narcissists trap people without them even realizing it. This isn't just about romantic relationships. This can happen with a boss, a friend, a parent, or anyone who wears the mask of charm, but hides a core of manipulation. So grab a cup of coffee, put your phone on silent, and stay with us, because this is one of the most important conversations you'll ever hear about emotional manipulation and self-protection. Hi, and welcome to today's video. I'm glad you're here. As a psychologist, I've seen how these patterns unfold over time. The pain they leave behind is real, but so is the healing that comes from awareness. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps more people break free from toxic dynamics and reclaim their clarity. Now, It all begins innocently. A narcissist never enters your life with a neon sign that says, "I'm here to manipulate you." No. Instead, they come wrapped in charisma, attentive, charming, maybe even too good to be true. And that's the first clue, because it is. In the beginning, they make you feel like the center of the universe. You are admired, celebrated, even idealized. They mirror your thoughts, interests, dreams. It feels like the connection you've always been waiting for. Finally, someone who gets you. But that's the trap being built. Psychologically, this phase is known as love bombing. The narcissist floods you with attention, flattery, gifts, and affection. They create a euphoric state, a high that is emotionally addictive. Your brain starts associating them with pleasure and validation. But love bombing isn't love. It's bait. Because once you're emotionally invested, once your brain starts depending on their validation for self-worth, the switch begins. Without warning, the admiration fades. Suddenly, you're not enough. The same traits they once praised are now criticized. Your opinions are too much. Your boundaries are selfish. Your emotions are dramatic. You start wondering, what changed? What did I do wrong? And that's exactly what they want. They shift the blame so subtly that you don't notice it at first. They might joke at your expense, give backhanded compliments, or invalidate your feelings. And when you express hurt, they say you're too sensitive. This isn't accidental. It's intentional emotional disorientation. It's called gaslighting, and it's one of the narcissist's favorite tools. They distort your perception of reality. You say something happened. They say it didn't. You feel something's wrong. They say you're imagining things. Over time, you stop trusting your own mind. You look to them for the truth, even about your own experiences. That is the prison. When you can no longer believe your own judgment, you become dependent on theirs. And this is how they tighten their grip without ever raising their voice. Now, let's talk about intermittent reinforcement. Another sneaky tactic. It's borrowed from behavioral psychology and used, believe it or not, in gambling addiction. It means rewards come unpredictably. Sometimes you're loved, sometimes you're ignored, sometimes you're praised, sometimes you're punished. You start trying harder to win their approval, not realizing you've been conditioned to chase emotional crumbs. This keeps you hooked, you remember the highs, and you believe if you just do better, you'll get back to that golden version of them. But the truth is, that version never existed. It was a performance to gain your trust. And while you're dancing in circles, try not to upset them. They're feeding off your confusion, your guilt, your desperation to make things right. Here's something deeper. Many narcissists don't just want control, they want worship. They construct relationships where they're always the superior one. They position themselves as misunderstood geniuses, wounded heroes, or ultimate victims. Everyone else is either beneath them or a threat. That's why they target empathetic people, people who are kind, who give the benefit of the doubt, who want to fix things. You become the perfect fuel for their ego. Your compassion becomes your cage. And yet, if you try to leave or set a boundary, they shift again. The charm returns. Apologies, tears, promises to change. They might even play the victim, saying, you are abandoning them. It's a cycle, and every loop digs the hook in deeper. What makes it so dangerous is that it doesn't happen all at once. The changes are gradual, so gradual that by the time you realize you're being manipulated, you've already been trained to doubt yourself. You may have isolated from your friends. You may feel too ashamed to tell anyone. You may believe you're too broken to start over. But hear this, you're not weak for falling into this trap. You're human. Narcissists are skilled at exploiting human psychology. What you're experiencing isn't stupidity, it's trauma. And trauma bonds are real. They create a chemical attachment to your abuser, reinforced by hope and fear, reward and punishment. So how do you escape? The first step is clarity, seeing the pattern, naming it. The second is reconnection with your instincts, your values, your support system, and most importantly, setting boundaries, which might mean no contact, even if it feels cruel. Narcissists don't respect soft no's. They only respond to firm, clear lines. If you've been caught in this web, I want you to know there is life on the other side. There is a version of you that is strong, clear-minded, and whole. You were never broken. You were manipulated, and that can be unlearned. You deserve love that doesn't confuse you, respect that doesn't need to be earned, safety that doesn't come with a price. It starts with waking up to the trap you were never meant to be in. Thank you for watching and for giving yourself the time to learn, reflect, and heal. If this video resonated with you, or if you know someone who needs to hear it, please share it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below, whether it's a story, a question, or a thought you'd like to express. Your voice matters, and you never know who might need your words. Until next time, take care of your mind and protect your heart. You're not alone.